America. Welcome to your HPP News. Every morning, every brain. Today we have some really important news that you need to know. So you need to take your precautions. Pay attention to the next report. The hydrogen bomb. The scientists that developed the atomic bomb have suspected that it was possible to create a more destructive weapon, the hydrogen bomb or H-bomb. In the United States entered into a deadly race with Soviet Union that which country will be the first to produce the H-bomb. On November 1st, in 1952, the United States won the race when it exploded the first H-bomb. The policy of brinkmanship. United States President Eisenhower decided to cut all the army to expand the Air Force and create nuclear weapons. This is a very delicate issue. Stay calm, but stay protected. And do not leave your home, please. Now we are going to go with your reporter Paola, who is interviewing some Americans.
Hi Paulette, I'm here with some American people.
Hi, what's your name? Samantha.
I'm here with Samantha, who are scared of the nuclear attacks. How do you feel?
We are really scared and we are building underground to be safe.
Hi, what's your name?
Emily.
Here we are with Emily, who are scared of the nuclear attacks. How do you feel?
To be honest, I'm really nervous. I don't really know what's happening and I'm feeling quite scared.
Okay, thank you. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Kayla.
Here we are with Kayla, who are scared of the nuclear attacks. How do you feel?
I'm just terrified that one day we're gonna have the effects of it and it's gonna end up hurting people like me and my family and the generations to come. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go, go. Back to you, Paulette. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula, for your brave interviews. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. The CIA uses spies to gather information abroad. The CIA finds itself in operations to weaken, overthrow governments unfriendly to the United States. CIA's first covert actions took place in the Middle East. Oh, wait. Oh, they inform me they have a video about it. Let's see it.
No more oil. From America, Shah.
Warsaw Pact. As the tension between the Soviet Union and United States, the Soviet Union also formed its own military alliance, known as the Warsaw Pact, which linked the Soviet Union with 7 Eastern European countries. President Eisenhower traveled to Geneva, Switzerland to meet Soviet leaders. This Eisenhower put forth an open skills proposal to the United States and Soviet Union will allow the fights over each other's territory to war against surprise nuclear attacks, but the Soviet Union rejected him. The Suez War.
In 1956, an international conflict erupted over the Suez Canal, a waterway in Egypt. The incident became known as the Suez Crisis. The crisis put the world on edge, rattling diplomatic relationships and culminating in a threat of nuclear. For a few months, Britain, France, Israel, and the United States scrambled to figure out how to handle Egypt's takeover of the Suez. On October 29, 1956, Israel attacked Egypt. Israel wanted to resolve the Suez Crisis as well as reopen the Strait of Tiran, an important trade route Egypt had previously closed. 2 days later, British and French forces also attacked Egypt and took control of the area around the Suez Canal. The situation quickly escalated. By November 5, 1956, Khrushchev threatened to nuke Western Europe if Britain, Israel, and France did not withdraw from Egypt. United States President Dwight D. Eisenhower warned Khrushchev not to get directly involved. At the same time, Eisenhower was furious that Britain, France, and Israel had kept the U.S. in the dark about this plan. he threatened the three countries with economic sanctions if they did not withdraw from Egypt. Britain and France withdrew by December. Finally, Israel bowed to U.S. pressure in March of 1957, bringing the Suez Canal crisis to an end. Though the Suez crisis lasted less than a year, its effects were profound and long-lasting. Immediately, a United Nations peacekeeping force was sent in to supervise the ceasefire and to restore order. The Suez Canal was cleared and reopened. British Prime Minister Robert Anthony Eden quickly resigned. The Suez crisis strained the relationship between the United States and Britain.
Warning! A new doctrine has arrived. The Eisenhower Doctrine said the United States will defend the Middle East against an attack by any communist country. The Hungarian Upstream. Hungary was being dominated by the Soviet Union since the end of the World War II. The Hungarian people rose in a revolt in 1956. They called for a democratic government. In November 1956, Soviet tanks rolled into Hungary and killed approximately 30,000 Hungarians. The United States did nothing to help the Hungary break free of Soviet control. No help came to Hungary from the Soviet nation either. We give you to the Hungarian people our condolences. The space race. The Soviets leaped to an early lead in what came to be known as the space race. On October 4, in 1957, they launched Sputnik in the world's first artificial satellite. Its launch was a triumph of Soviet technology. Americans were shocked at being beaten, and they worked on their space program. The first attempt at an American satellite launch was a failure. However, on January 31, in 1958, the United States successfully launched its first satellite. The U-2. The CIA began making secret high-altitude flying over Soviet territory. The plane used for this mission was the U-2, which could fly at high altitudes without detection, but many U.S. officials were nervous about the U-2 program. Even President Eisenhower wanted to discontinue it. However, those persuaded him to not authorize one last flight. Breaking news. The flight took place on May 1, and the pilot was Francis Gary. Powers. 4 hours after Powers entered Soviet airspace, a Soviet pilot shut down his plane, and the Soviets sentenced Powers to 10 years in prison. Renegade confrontation. At first, Eisenhower denied that U-2 had been supine, but the Soviets had evidence, and Eisenhower finally had to admit it. Khrushchev demanded an apology for the fights and a promise to halt them. Eisenhower agreed to stop the two fights, but he would not apologize. Khrushchev angrily called off the summit and removed his invitation to Eisenhower to visit the Soviet Union. This is all for today, and thank you for your preference in every morning, in every reporting.